Blossom, yes, blossom. That's the only sad thing. I want to know what happens next. Right then. Doctor whoever I'm about to be. Tag. You're it.
The Doctor is, and always will be, such a special character to so many around the world. It's no mistake that it's the longest running sci-fi show, and there's just something about it. A magic that sparks the imagination. What planet will we land on this week? What will we see? It has a spark of hope and joy in travelling around, even with all the darker moments, which I think makes the show so universal. An amazing mixture of comedy, drama, horror, any genre you want to throw in. On top of full rebrands every few years, it is always changing and evolving, whilst staying so intrinsically Doctor Who. It is a show that has such a strong love from not only the fans but the creators and the artists behind it. Jodie Whittaker is and always will be the Doctor. Just like everyone who came before and to come after. Because even if you're not currently filming in the TARDIS, your Doctor is still zipping around time and space. It's a timeless role in a timeless show. It doesn't matter how long you've been away to be welcomed back in open arms. Each Doctor will of course mean something completely different to everyone. It's entirely personal in the best way. Especially as a kid, I of course knew that Doctor Who was fictional, but there was always a small part of me that hoped that one day I'd look out the window and see a little blue box waiting. It sounds so odd to say, but for so many people, it is more than just a TV show. Much like a few years ago, celebrating Eccleston's return to the show with the One Fantastic Scene project, a whole group of cool people have come together again to celebrate Jodie Whittaker's time on the show with one brilliant scene. An opportunity to reflect on what made the 13th Doctor so special over the past 5 years. 5 years. Bloody hell. Existential crisis of time being so fleeting and slipping away aside, we couldn't have asked for a better ambassador of the show. Someone so funny and full of life, embracing the character, the fans, and allowing so many more people to see more of themselves in the character they love. Originally, when first told about the One Brilliant Scene project, the defining moment for me of this Doctor wasn't any of the speeches, shocking twists, returning characters, or soil tasting, but instead when we were all in lockdown, avoiding a certain... and Jodie put on her costume and told us that it was all going to be okay. I feel like this is so perfectly the 13th Doctor. The incarnation with arguably the most Golden Retriever energy. When I think of them, it's always the sheer joy and wonder of going around and exploring the stars. I'd argue she's up there as one of the most wholesome of the Doctors. Not only in the fact of her getting everyone home safely, well, maybe not home, but safely, and this excitement for the universe and the people in it, even for a frog being a universe, is infectious. Two hearts full of love, even if they can't always express that love to the people they should. It has been an absolute marvel seeing Jodie excel in this role, having so much fun with it on and off screen. Then, with Power of the Doctor, what a finale. Chef's kiss to this man. Just put a camera on him and watch him go. What a celebration of the show and its 59-year lineage, highlighting a lot of Chibnall's strengths and just being so damn watchable. A collection of interesting characters, all with something to do and serving the story. I absolutely loved seeing Tegan and Ace, seeing what they'd been up to and fully showing their side and feelings on the Doctor flying off with countless other new folks and being left behind. Throughout Regeneration episodes, you know it's coming. You know the big moment is on its way, and this was the first Regeneration episode I completely forgot that that was the destination. Just enjoying following the characters. That's not to say that the way other Regeneration episodes treat it are incorrect or anything. Death is everywhere in life and media, specifically in stories. Especially in a post-Thrones age, death is often used for shock value, great big world-ending stakes, and of course there are tons that are handled really well. Don't get me wrong, I love a good character death. Well, love to hate it. With contemporary media though, it feels like we're perpetually stuck in the machine of spoilers on who lives or dies. With some stories sometimes not being more than that. I remember the fan discussion of every Marvel film from the first Avengers onwards being, trust me, this is the one where Tony Stark is going to die. Like the stories were nothing more than a checklist. Regenerating is still the death of that incarnation of the character, And when it comes to something as heavy as that, of course it's going to hurt. Even if it's just for the characters in the story, it's not going to be an easy thing. But the outlook here is really nice and touching. And this speech, looking out at the planet, really got to me.
Nobody else got to be us. Nobody else got to live our days.
Death is an inevitable part of anyone's life. No matter how much we try, we can't get away from it. And them using that as a time to celebrate what came before, when it's so easy to get lost and drown in just the melancholic part, the finding the good in it, the hope, the wonder. That's why I love 13. She really took Capaldi's advice.
Be kind.
Then we get on to the brilliant scene in question. The scene starts with a support group of previous companions, an idea that is just brilliant. Putting the message out there, no matter what you've gone through, no matter how specific or out of this world, there will always be people there to support and talk through it with. You are never alone. Then it cuts to 13 saying goodbye to the TARDIS, making sure they look after the next one, caring for the other person, putting off their own regeneration until they've seen one last sunrise.
Don't forget to click below and subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.
Jodie's whole time on the show has always had some very pretty cinematography, but nowhere is that more exemplified than in this scene. John Smith's amazing VFX and the beautiful golden hour sunrise, she takes a moment with a deep breath, taking it all in. It all complemented with a third Doctor reference as the icing on the cake.
Blossomiest blossom.
It was the daisiest daisy I'd ever seen.
It's this excitement, enthusiasm for life, always wanting to see and do more, that childlike wonder. 13 looks forward at whoever's about to walk back into the TARDIS, whoever is going to fly off and explore the stars next. She's the first Doctor in too long smart enough to realise that maybe regenerating outside the TARDIS is a good idea. She hands over the baton in the most 13 way possible.
Tag. You're it.
Perfectly encompassing this incarnation of the character, just before she erupts into a burst of light. What a brilliant scene. And celebrating the end of things, taking a moment to think about who she was and who she loved. The show always looks forward. It has to. Even when nostalgically looking back, and if God forbid the show was ever cancelled again, this would have made a brilliant finale. Rounding things off in a programme built to continually keep moving. We could not have asked for a better ambassador for the show than Jodie Whittaker, a bundle of smiles and by all accounts lovely human being. Her Doctor has been one full of optimism and love for the world and people around them, never quite being able to fully express it properly. Even if my favourite Doctor changes day by day, all of them hold a special place. Just as Eccleston will always be my first Doctor, Whittaker will be my Doctor while I was at university, using it as a jumping on point to get housemates and friends into the show. The Doctor is not an easy role to take on, one with so much responsibility in and outside of the camera frame, and Jodie has truly done a tremendous job. I'll miss her no longer running around in new episodes. Thank you Jodie, Chibbers, and the whole production team for still bringing the world new Doctor Who in one of the toughest times in television production history. What a send-off. Thank you for watching. As always, I didn't get to explore quite as much as I'd like to have, as I'm currently snowed under in post-production on a few films and gearing up in pre-production for some more. But it was great fun making a video celebrating Jodie's time on the show. Right, I'm off to go watch the other essays on the playlist.